45%. Right?
So, yes. Okay, we are live. Hello, good evening. As you may notice right now, I'm not in uniform, I'm in black. Okay. The reason for that, in case you weren't here for yesterday's stream, is because from now on, the streams will not be curriculum focused. Okay, the streams will be focused more on athletic development. Okay, so keeping your body in shape and keeping you ready to be able to continue whatever it is you need to do for your curriculum. Okay, so for forms, keeping your techniques crisp and stable. For sparring, keeping you capable of movement, lasting long enough. Your stamina is good, your flexibility is still there. Things like board breaking, the technique, the proper technique rotation is still there. All these things, okay? So we want to make sure that you are constantly practicing something so that your body doesn't forget how to martial art, okay? The other change that's going to be happening is the streams are from now on going to be Monday and Wednesdays. Tuesdays and Thursdays will be saved for private lessons, and I'll explain to you after class what those are for. For now, we're just going to get started, just start bouncing up and down, nice and easily. So as we're doing this, one of the main different things about how I would normally run a warm-up with you guys is for this time, for today, it's going to be 30 minutes of movement, and I don't want you to stop, okay? Set a slow, steady pace that you can keep up for a long time. If you're absolutely dying and need to stop, fine, you can stop. But notice how once I stopped, I started walking and pacing. That's what I want you to do as well, okay? I'm not stopping my movement. I'm still moving, whether that's pacing, stepping side to side, marching on the spot, walking in circles, doesn't matter. As long as you are still moving, that's all I want. So Mrs. Boyer here is going to be my student for today. She looks tiny on the screen, so we can move forward. It doesn't help I'm ginormous either. Perfect. This is the proportion we should go for. Okay, so very easy. Now you're just going to move your legs out and in. And every once in a while, you're just going to drop down into a squat and then hop right back up again. Okay, and squat and hop back in. I don't want to see squat, step, step, hop again. No. Once you squat down, you use that down motion to get back up again, and you keep on jumping, okay? So Mrs. Boyer is actually going at a pretty fast pace, okay? Those of you at home, if you can go faster, go ahead. If you want to go slower, that's fine too. As long as you can keep this pace up for the entire duration, okay? There we go. Okay, good. And then in a few moments, we're just going to transition to just regular squats, where I don't want you to stop moving. You're just going to keep pumping those squats out. As you're doing the squats, you want to make sure your knees don't go past your toes. What I mean by that is I don't want to see this. You stick your butt out, your knees stay in the same spot, your back is straight, you go down and up. That's how you do a squat. That way you're using the correct muscles and they're supporting each other, okay? So right now, transitioning to just squats, okay? You're sticking your butt out for every single one. I know it feels weird, it looks weird, but as long as your back is straight and your knees are not moving, your butt is sticking out, I guarantee you, you'll be working a lot more muscles and you're working them properly. You're not straining them, okay? This way they can support each other as well. There we go. And like I said earlier, Mrs. Boyer tends to go at a faster pace. You don't need to go that fast. Feel free to go a little bit slower if you'd like. Or if you want to challenge yourself, you can try and go faster than her and still keep it up. Okay? All right, Mrs. Boyer is going to keep doing that. I'm going to explain the next thing I want you to switch into. What you're going to do is you're going to lunge down. So you're going to start feet parallel. You're going to lunge forward. And you're going to push off and then ball of the foot, front kick. Put your leg down. Other leg. Launch, up, kick, down. Lunge, launch, kick, down. And that's what you're going to be doing over and over again. making sure that you're not just stepping, you are launching yourself off the ground. Okay? Switching to that. Go ahead.
Sit.
There we go. Now, I don't know if the mic can pick this up, but as Mrs. Boyer is doing this, she's taking deep breaths. Okay? And that's what you need to be doing too. A lot of times, people, when they're doing any strenuous physical activity, they hold their breath, thinking that'll be better, and it might feel better for a split second. Okay? But in the long run, these deep breaths are going to help you much better. It'll help make sure you have oxygen in your body. It'll keep you relaxed. Okay? And trust me, you will last a lot longer if you're breathing. Don't hold your breath. Take deep breaths. Generally, when you are straining, that's when you exhale. So that might be when you push up. If you're stretching, that might be when you're trying to stretch even further. Whatever it is, you exhale when you're doing that. Okay? That's also why when you see high-ranking individuals do their forms, like black belts, you'll listen to them breathing out when they do their techniques. Okay, that's the reason why. All right, and relax, shake your legs out. Okay, make sure you're still moving and walking back and forth. The next thing I'm gonna have you guys do, okay, you're gonna be doing burpees. The way I want you to do them is you're gonna go down. Notice my feet move together. Okay, I kick out, I push up, my feet move together, I kick in, I jump. Out, down, up, in, jump. Okay, so your feet move together. Ready? Go ahead. There we go. Now you might not have seen it when I was doing it at an angle, but Mrs. Boyer's got her feet apart when she's doing her push-ups. I'd like you guys to do that as well. Okay? Have your feet and shoulders equally apart when you're doing push-ups. And when you're doing regular push-ups, that's a good thing to try as well. Okay? You want your feet apart, hands apart. And not too far apart either. There we go. Keep on going, keep on going. 20 more seconds. Roughly, maybe. Or it might go longer. You never know. 5 seconds. There we go. And standing up, shake your legs out a little bit, shake your arms out a little bit, and then lying down onto your backs. We're just going to move on to leg lifts. You guys know what leg lifts are. Just do your leg lifts. And go ahead. There you go. Now for this one, Mrs. Boyer is slowing down a lot. Okay. For something like this, slowing down makes it harder. It adds more resistance. You have to strain to hold your leg up. So if you want to make your training more effective, slow down a little bit. Okay. And for this one, if you're absolutely dying and you need to take a break, I recommend taking a break when your leg is at the down position but not touching the ground. You can kind of recover from there before you pull your legs back up again. Okay? There you go. 15 more seconds. After this, we're going to transition to rocket ship. So you're just going to lift your legs up. You're going to shoot your feet into the air. You're going to roll onto your shoulders while doing so. You're going to roll back down and then legs down again. Do not roll onto your neck or head because you risk hurting yourself. Just roll onto your shoulder, up, down, and then continue. And moving on to the rocket ships. Go ahead. There you go. And you don't have to shoot yourself super duper high for this one. Just as long as your lower back goes off the ground, and you're good to go. Okay. And 20 seconds left. And then we'll quickly let you guys get a drink of water, and then we'll move on to something different. Okay? 10 seconds. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and come on. All right, so get yourself a drink of water. As you're drinking, make sure you're still moving, even if it's just marching on the spot. Slow movement is better than no movement, and you want to be constantly moving for this, okay? So keep moving, get a quick drink of water, okay? And this is actually a good habit for you to get into. In regular classes, when we dismiss you to get some water, if you're constantly moving, okay? It's a lot better for your body. There's a lot of science behind it, which I won't explain right now. But you want to be constantly moving. You don't want to suddenly stop because you can shock your body and hurt it quite badly in the long run. Okay. All right, so next thing we're going to move on to, you're going to be in push-up position quite a bit. So, first one, you're going to be here. I think I've done this with you guys before, but it's been a long time. You're going to slowly and gently place your forearm onto the ground, down, up, up, down, down, up, up. I do not want you to drop onto your arm or slam it onto the ground because obviously you're going to hurt it. Gently place it down. You're going to be relying on your arm muscles to hold you up and your core to keep you stable. Okay?
And make sure that your elbow goes where the hand was, right here.
Yes.
So if you're doing this, you're not doing it correctly.
Yes.
Hand goes where your elbows were.
Lifting your hand, you're intentionally placing your forearm down, down, up, up. All right? Go ahead. Good. Now, Mrs. Boyer is going very fast. I don't go this fast. Okay? Take your time. Okay? As long as you're placing your arms down gently. You don't want to slam it to the ground. If you feel yourself collapsing, okay, feel free to place your knees on the ground and kind of give yourself a bit of relief. Do not collapse onto your arms. That's how you can hurt them quite badly. Okay? 15 seconds left. Okay, 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax for a second. The next one, what you're going to do, you're going to stay in push-up position. Try to stay as flat as possible. You're going to slowly touch your opposite shoulder and down. Shoulder and down. Moving slowly and deliberately. Your core is stabilizing you. I don't want to see lifting of your chest. No. Try to keep your chest flat. Up, tap, 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 tap. If you find this difficult, the wider your legs are, the easier it is. But don't go too wide, okay? Because then you lose out on the training. All right? Go ahead. You'll notice how Mrs. Boyer's back is basically not moving, okay? Her arms are moving, but her body makes it seem like she's just holding a push-up position. That's what you want to do ultimately. And like I said earlier, if you're finding this difficult, feel free to have your legs a little bit further apart. Makes it a bit easier, okay? Because the main thing is your core is struggling to try and stabilize you. Okay. And 20 more seconds. There we go. We're almost done. 10 seconds. And standing up.
That's it.
Shake your arms out. Kind of twist your waist a little bit. Okay. All right, we're gonna go back to your legs for a second, okay? For this next one, what you're going to be doing, this is gonna be quite difficult, okay? This was difficult even when we did this with black belts and teens and adult class. You're gonna go on one leg, so my right leg is on the ground. With my left arm, I'm gonna go try and keep my back as straight as possible, okay? Of course, it's not gonna be completely straight, but you're gonna try and keep it as straight as possible. You're gonna bend down with your knees, touch, up, touch, a little bit over, up. So I just touched where my left foot would be. I'm touching right where my right foot would be. And now I'm touching a little bit over. So facing you, when I'm doing this, I'm going to do it on the other leg now. If I can bend this knee, this ankle that far.
So which leg?
So left leg with your right arm, you're going to touch. Let's go from this side first. far side,
Far side.
up, middle, up, and then near side. And as you're doing this, okay, keep your back as straight as possible. You want to be bending at the ankle, knee, and hip, not the
Also
back. You
sideways.
don't want to hunch. Okay, I can do this with my right leg. You can't do it with my left ankle. So I'm
And
here.
my back.
Your back is straight, similar to that squat where you stick your butt out. That's where you want to be bending, and then down. All right. So go ahead and start doing this, and every 3, just switch legs. 3, 3, 1, 2, 3. Switch legs. 1, 2, 3. Switch legs. 1, 2, 3. Go ahead. There we go. Okay. This is something to help with leg strength, as well as the big one is balance. For anyone who might be having balancing issues, this is a good drill to do. And it strengthens your legs and it tightens the grip your feet have on the ground. There we go. Keep going, keep going. I'm always looking this way because that's where our clock is. Which of course you all should know. This is your school. There you go, 30 seconds left. Go again, you want to keep your back as straight as possible. You can bend at the hips, at the knees, at the ankles, not the back though. Keep your back straight. There you go. 15 seconds left. And make sure you're switching after every 3 dips. So 1, 2, 3, switch legs, 1, 2, 3. There you go, and come on.
Sir.
Shake your legs out, shake your legs out. All right. We're gonna quickly do some stretch kicks, stretch your legs out a bit, and then you'll get some water, and then we'll move on to something different. So 5 stretch kicks, belt level, chest high as you can. You guys know the drill. Front stretch kicks, switch legs, same thing to the side, switch legs, perpendicular. Go ahead. Go. 3, 4, 5. So you'll notice that even though I'm not doing a lot of these exercises the entire time, okay, I'm constantly moving. I'm pacing back and forth. I don't want to stop my movement. Okay. Yeah, now the other leg. This is boys going quite fast, so if you're having trouble keeping up, don't worry. For the stretch kicks, go at your own pace. Okay, you'll get a little bit of extra time to finish up when we dismiss you to get water as well. Okay. Yeah. Now the other side.
Woo. Always this way.
It's the non-dominant leg. There we go. All right. If you haven't finished your stretch kicks, finish those up. If you are, get yourself a drink of water again while you're drinking. Slowly, constantly move. I'll give you about a minute and a little bit to get that water and finish up your stretch kicks if you need to. Okay. And those of you who are done early, just like Mrs. Boyer is doing, just jogging on the spot, keep moving. All right. Out of water.
Take deep breath.
Okay. So for the next one, we're going to do a couple of some sparring stuff. Okay. So keep in mind when I say switching sides, because we're doing this as a sparring drill, you don't need to switch your stance. Okay. So I normally spar with my right leg forward. So the entire time I am in a right leg forward stance. If I say switch sides, I just do it off of the other side. So if I'm moving this way first, and I say switch sides, I'm just moving this way, okay? If I was kicking with this leg and I say switch sides, okay, you can switch, okay, and then kick, okay, that's up to you, but you always start from your regular sparring stance, okay? So light on your feet, okay? Very first thing we're gonna do, nice and easy, just the number 1 round kick, and I want you to lunge forward while doing that. Okay, so just very quickly using your pivot. You're not just stepping forward, you're using your pivot to launch yourself forward, okay, to gain that distance. So light on your feet, kick, and then instantly get back, okay? And when you're coming back, okay, oops, I stepped. So when you're coming back, I'm putting my foot down close. I'm not putting it down here because I'm putting it down here. I have extra distance to go. The moment I kick, I put my foot down and I'm launching myself backwards. Okay, I started here in line with this star. I kick, and when I'm retreating behind that star because I want to make sure that I'm a safe distance away from my target. Okay, so light on your feet. All right, kick, and then back. All right, your retreat should be double that of your invade, okay, of your attack. So line on your feet, kick, and then back. Feet, kick, back. All right, staying line on your feet the entire time. Now you'll notice Mrs. Boyer and I were bouncing off the ground, our feet leave the ground, but we're not going too far off the ground, just barely off the ground, okay? Some people don't even go off the ground, they're just lying on their feet, shifting their weight, okay? Some people bounce, but they're bouncing forward and back a little bit. Doesn't matter, it is completely up to you. As long as you achieve the goal of staying light on your feet to increase your legs' ability to react faster, okay? Okay. So same thing, light on your feet, except instead of a lunging round kick, you're going to do a lunging side kick, and then instantly retreat again. So you light on your feet, side kick, and then back again. All right?
Calves. We did it all day yesterday.
Calves are good.
Oh, I know. They're crying.
Big calves are big yes. All right. So now, okay, you may have seen Mr. Wu go over this in class. We're going to do that fake step. So first we're going to go off of our front leg. Okay, so for some of you it might be your left leg. For me, it's my right leg. What you're going to do is I want you to just pick that leg up as if you're about to kick, but all you're doing is you're doing a step. Now, be careful. I don't want you to step forward because in an actual sparring match, if I step forward as my fake, I am indicating that I'm about to kick them in the legs, and that's not allowed. Okay? So you're just going to step on the spot and then lunge round kick and retreat. All right, so you lie on your feet, you're going to step, lunge, kick, and then back off. All right? As you're doing this, try and make your step convincing enough for them to think that you're about to kick. Ways of doing so, okay, depends on where your weight is as you're doing your step. Okay? If your weight is back here, it's pretty obvious you're not going to kick them. Whereas if you're leaning forward as if you're about to charge, okay, and your hips are kind of going forward a little bit, you're indicating you're about to charge. Especially since when we're sparring, we're looking at each other at the hips, right? So we're light on your feet, okay? Step, kick, retreat. Use your hips to try and go forward a little bit to indicate you're about to step forward. My feet are in the same spot, Okay, your hips are how to make it more convincing. There we go. All right, now we're gonna switch to the other side. So you're gonna use your back leg. You're gonna do a full step forward, okay? And then you're going to launch a quick kick with the leg you just stepped. Now, be very careful. I'm gonna do 2 different kinds of steps. This step is going to get me a warning. This step is gonna get me a fake. And the difference between the two is the first one, I stepped forward and I landed going forwards. I am going forwards. Whereas the second one, okay, I'm picking my leg up forward, but then I'm putting it straight down. I'm making sure that I'm putting it straight down, which means I was kicking the floor. I was taking a step. I wasn't trying to kick them in the legs. I was just simply taking a step. And again, you're using your hips to kind of drive them forward a little bit to make it seem like you're about to kick. And then boom, throw your kick in. All right? So in your sparring stance, you're going to step with your back leg, throw your kick with that same leg. All right? So land on your feet. There you go. You're going to step forward, and then you're going to kick. Good, good. Excellent. There you go. Adding that key up is a good way for you to make sure you're still breathing. Like I mentioned before in the more formal classes, even though you're at home, even if you're not allowed to be loud, because some places don't allow that, you still can say "Aya" and be in the habit of responding like that. Okay?
Aya.
There we go. And come on. All right. So before I dismiss you guys, for this particular drill, the stepping drill, we have stars here, so there's a good way to practice. If you don't have a star at home, you can maybe put a piece of like masking tape on the floor, a piece of paper on the floor as like a marker. I'm going to use the star. A good way to know, use this star. A good way to know whether or not you're doing the step properly. Okay? So if let's say I'm doing my front foot, I'm going to be about 1 foot away from my thing. If I step and I am barely touching that thing, the marker, I'm good. If I step and I land on it or even past it, that means I lunged forward too much. So my marker, a foot back, okay, light on my feet, step. As long as I didn't reach that marker, I'm good. Okay? As for the step forward, okay, I'm going to measure out so that my back foot is 1 foot ahead of the marker. Okay, so this is about how wide my step would be. Let me move back, light on my feet. If I step onto the marker, I'm good. If I step within 1 foot of that marker, I'm good. If I launch myself way past the marker, then I'm lunging, I'm going to get a warning. So you can use markers on the floor to help you determine if you're going too far with your lunge, or if you're stepping straight down. So my knee is over the star as well. I know I went straight down, I'm good. All right? So these are ways that you can practice this drill at home. That'll be it for today, okay? Keep in mind, like I said earlier, Monday, Wednesdays will be streams, and the streams will be more focused on physical athletic development. Tuesday and Thursdays will be saved for private lessons, one-on-one lessons. That can either be in the school, so instructor, student, or that could be over online, over a video chat, just like a stream, except instead of me and lots of you, it'll be just me and you, okay? Or whichever instructor is available.
Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So if you want to test in April, or you just want to get to know your curriculum better, contact Mrs. Boyer and let her know, and she will try and schedule a time for you for that private lesson. Okay. Otherwise, you can just stay tuned to our Monday, Wednesday streams and stay on track of your physical athletic development, your ability. As long as that's still up there, when you come back, okay, you'll be able to pick everything up easily again. All right. So stay safe, stay healthy, wash your hands frequently,
And stretch.
stretch, lots of stretching, and if you can, try and stay at home as much as possible. All right? Thank you very much for watching, and don't forget to train in your own time. Okay?